So I work in a school. I'm a Senko. I'm part of this extended leadership, and I told my head teacher that I needed to earn more money. Could she offer it? No. So I said, well, I have to let you know that I will be actively looking for work, because in schools you have to let your employer know that's what you'll be doing. I applied for a few, didn't get anywhere, because I don't know if you know much about teaching, but assistant headship applications are horrendous. The final one took me about 12 hours to complete. I got the interview, subject to referencing. Then the night before the interview, I got an email from the prospective school to say that the interview had been withdrawn due to an unsatisfactory reference. I immediately called my head teacher and told her, and I said, what did you put in it? She said, there was nothing bad in it, and she emailed it to me. And on the professional competencies, there was like lots of other ones, but on the professional competencies out of 15, she gave me 1 outstanding, 9 meeting expectations, and 5 areas for development. Those areas for development have never, ever been raised to me previously. They've never been any of my performance management, my targets, nothing. I agreed to go and see her, but I spoke to my union, who said, I don't think you should go when you're this upset, because I was quite rightly devastated. So I didn't go, and then she called me, and, the justification for the reasons behind why she did those things were I was just at a loss. Now, when I'm looking and reading up about this, it looks like if you lost the job, if you had it already, then there may be some grounds. But what happens when it's just an interview? And then how do I go forward now from here?
Right, this is pretty tricky, Jane. First of all, you said you're a SENCO. Am I right? That stands for Special Educational Needs Coordinator.
Yes.
And your union, is it the NASUWT or a different one?
It is.
Okay,
yep,
they're a pretty good union. They know what they're doing.
Yep.
There are a couple of things here. First of all, what you can do for the future. Second of all, what you can do about this job that you've lost or potentially lost. Let's talk about the future first of all. There are only 3 options open to you. Number one is take the very, very softly approach of saying to the head teacher, OK, I didn't realise I needed assistance here. And this is the diplomatic approach, the non-confrontational approach. I know you don't agree you need development, but say, I didn't realise I needed development in these areas. Can we sort out a 3-month development plan, and then I'll be able to score better in future applications? And I'd like monthly monitoring by you, please, and monthly meetings for upskilling purposes. Now, just because these issues haven't been raised by you, and forgive me, Jane, because I can tell from your voice how upset you continue to be, doesn't mean they're not issues. Because some managers, some head teachers are poor managers and don't necessarily raise concerns they may have. But of course, it may also be made up to try to retain you because you're an excellent teacher. It may be the more sinister explanation, which is what I think you think it is. Am I right?
Well, can I give you an example of one of them?
No, I don't need that. Do you think it's made up to get you to stay in post, or do you think it's genuine?
I think it's made up.
OK. So option number 2, you probably won't want to go for option number 1 in that case. Option number 2 is to use your union to put in a formal grievance against the head teacher. The advantage of doing that is that it causes difficulty for the head teacher, and they are less likely to repeat the same conduct because they wouldn't want subsequent grievances or investigations to be brought against them. It damages their career. The downside of doing that is that it is going to make relationships with your head teacher extremely chilly for the rest of your career at that school. And that's
I think
difficult.
It already is, though.
But then that might be a route to do. Route number 3, and I would get advice from your union who know more about this than I do before doing this, but route number 3 is to resign and claim constructive dismissal on the basis that your head teacher has acted in bad faith by giving you an unfairly bad reference to try to retain you at the school.
Yeah, now, other thing was she put no comments in either. You know where you can put comments, so when you say nothing, it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Can I just check you have 2 years employment? Because you need that for unfair dismissal.
I've worked there for 9 years.
Fine, so you can bring a constructive dismissal claim. They're your 3 options. The gentle one, ask for an improvement plan and try and work it through. The aggressive one, put in a grievance against the head teacher. and the extremely aggressive one, resign and claim constructive dismissal. That can have long-term consequences for your career, of course. I'm sure you realise that.
Yeah.
That's how to deal with the future. How to deal with what's happened is that you could bring a claim. Now, this is only worth bringing if your union will back you up because it's potentially expensive. But you could bring a claim for loss of a chance to get an assistant head teacher job because of a negligent reference. And if a court thought that if you'd been given a fair reference, you'd have had a 60% chance of getting that job, you'll get 60% of the difference in earnings between what you currently earn and what you would have earned as an assistant head teacher. Does that make sense?
Over what period of time?
Ongoing for the future, for the amount of time that the court thinks you will remain in your current job.
Wow.
So if they think you'll get another head teacher job in 2 years' time, then you'll get 60% of the difference in salary for 2 years.